Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of gamers of all ages, today we are going to be looking at the Division 3 Overwatch tournament, and today we will be having, for this first match, David City, the number 1 seed, go up against the number 4 seed, Thayer Central. David City will be consisting of 6 players. Loco Jordo, who is a tank, Sparks, who is a tank DPS, Egg, who is a flex, Cheese Tick, who is a support, Ramuro, who is a support, and Unreal Slice, who is a tank / DPS. And then for Thayer Central, it will be State 7 Heaven, who is support, Original Go-To, who is a tank, Justin Powers, who is a DPS, German Plays, who is a DPS, Dino Man, who is a tank, and Pac-Man, who is a support. So here in about 10 seconds, we will see both of these teams be going up against each other in the last Overwatch match of the night. So let's see if maybe, or not of the night, but the last Overwatch tournament of the night. So here we go, we are getting started. And so on attack will actually be the team of David City, and on defense will be the team of Thayer Central. So we're going to be seeing Thayer Central go for a bunker comp here, which is what we refer to as a character named Bastion, who is a turret that sits down and basically just lets take the bullets for him and just delivers a bunch of damage into the enemy team. So that was a really good hook by the Hog there to get him off the high ground, and that's what they need to be able to do, is to get him out of position so they can start pushing the point like they are now. So they are doing a very good job of doing that exactly, and now we're going to see David City start to push the point, and Egg is actually going to get Super Ninja down, and now it's just going to be cleaning up for all of David City as they will completely just demolish the team and run into them. There's nothing but a Widow left over, and she is just the lone survivor of an absolute onslaught that David City just put onto this first point of Hollywood. So as we're waiting for them to push through, I will explain what Hollywood is. Hollywood is actually a map that is called a hybrid map. And it's a map where you have to control the first point, basically go on just like they did, and now you have to escort the payload all the way to the end for the second and third point. And David City has 5 minutes exactly to do that. So it looks like Thayer Central is going to be setting up on this high ground here, and they're just going to be kind of taking some pop shots to try and get the Rhine shield down, and the monkey actually falls, which is going to be a problem for them if they can capitalize off of that. But they're actually going to get a pick off on the spars here from David City, and so now being down 1, they just kind of have to try to push point as much, and Loco Jordo's actually going to get a pick on Super Ninja here, and that could be key for them here, because now that Bastion's down, they have free roam to just basically walk around and not have to worry about the damage raining down on them from above. So let's see if David City can capitalize off of that. So the Winston is going to jump down on point, and now the entire team of Thayer Central is going to be here. A big hook by Unreal Slice here. Regional Go-To is going to get not name Deucer from the Moira, and now we're just going to see Unreal Slice kind of pumping some damage into the backline here, going for the res, but unfortunately cannot get it off, and the only person left is a Lucio, and he will fall as well, and David City once again rolling this point through on Hollywood. So the Bastion is not able to set up. He's going to have to back up here, and there's only a Reaper trying to contest this Roadhog on Unreal Slice, and Unreal Slice has been getting a lot of value out of this Roadhog pick, not really having anything to contest against him besides this Reaper, but hasn't been doing a really good job of focusing him. The Junkrat Tire by Egg is going to come out, and it's going to get Pac-Man and Super Ninja, which is going to be key, because now the Mercy can't even res the Bastion when the Bastion's down. However, behind them is going to be coming up Justin Powers, the Reaper, and unfortunately, he will not get any value, and now the monkey's just going to try and stall point if he can and try to fall back, but he will unfortunately perish. And they will get the second point here, and with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left, David City has had a really good push here and been very aggressive on this attack. So Super Ninja is going to actually set up here after getting a close spawn instead of a far spawn, and now he's just going to get basically trapped with the enemy team here, and that might be it for him, and it will be. And the Mercy is going to try and res him, but will not pull it off. And a big shatter there. Basically gets one, but kind of killed pretty early. So Super Ninja trying to come out from the right side, does get a little bit of a damage done on there on that Echo, but unfortunately not able to do a lot. And going into this final fight, both teams doing a very good job of trying to be aggressive. It's just David City is executing it more, and Sparks unfortunately does not get that Echo form to go anywhere. Does copy the Reinhardt, but it just goes straight down. And now Unreal Slice, kind of the name of the game so far, is putting some mad damage into this Thayer Central team, trying to hook some people. Does kill the Junkrat. The Junkrat Tire comes out and kills the Rezzing Mercy. And now the team will just start pushing in. The Reinhardt tries to contest along with the Lucio, and if they can get a Lucio here, they might be able to contest it even longer, but they cannot. And now that is going to be David City with 3 minutes and 24 seconds left on the clock, pushing it all the way to the end. So now the roles will be reversed. David City will be on the defense, and Thayer Central will be on the attack. The biggest thing there was not getting the value out of the Reaper pick on Thayer Central's part to take care of the Roadhog. Unreal Slice was just walking into the backline for free, taking care of the Bastion, which in a bunker comp is the most important part of it, besides the shield characters. And if that Roadhog is just getting free value to hook the Bastion into his gun, it's not going to be any value for the team of Thayer Central. So we'll see if maybe on this attack they can do something different to take care of that Roadhog, or if Unreal Slice will even stay on that Roadhog for defense, and if he will get any value out of it. So to talk a little bit about the teams, David City did come to state last year. They actually placed first last year in Division 3, so Thayer Central is definitely the underdog here. And so let's see if maybe they can pull off the upset to be able to send David City packing and give them either third or fourth place instead of first or second. So we will see if that can happen in the next 10 seconds, as we will see the attack of Thayer Central. So here we go, Thayer Central pushing up from the top left instead of the main area. And it looks like Sparks goes for the Doomfist pick here to try and deny the shield, which is a very interesting pick and a very good pick for trying to be a shield buster, especially since it looks like Thayer Central is still going for that bunker comp. So if you can take care of those shields, then that means that it's actually going to be null and void. But it looks like for some reason Thayer Central does get onto the high ground, but instead of pushing straight down to the point, they're going to stay up there and just continue to fire down on it. And now they're split up. So I don't know what the plan fully was there, but Thayer Central unfortunately does not get any value out of getting to the high ground. Instead of focusing on the team where they knew the team was, they start focusing down on the point and don't get any value out of it, and now they're just going to stagger the Bastion. So now the respawn times are going to be a little off for Thayer Central here. They have to try and group up together and not split up like they just did, especially against this Roadhog Doomfist comp, which is going to be very, very, very hard to contest. So they're walking into this right room. They do have a Symmetra now, and they're putting up Symmetra turrets, and that's going to be a big Earthshatter, possibly getting some damage, but not a lot. Loco Jordo does put the Earthshatter out, but now, once again, the Monkey is just completely secluded off to the side, and now they're down a support. The Monkey's just going to try and touch point, but can't, and that was just unfortunate for the team of Thayer Central as the Mercy went down and the team just continued to follow, as now they will have to regroup for another push with only 2 minutes left. And once again, it seems like even though Unreal Slice has been doing really good on this Roadhog, most of this round has been this Doomfist pick that has been kind of bullying the tank line, and they really don't have an answer for it for Sparks. And so let's see if maybe the damage is just enough to get David City the win on this first map of Hollywood. Pac-Man will go ahead and raise Super Ninja here, but they're going to put up the window there in the doorway, which is going to completely negate the push that they have. And now Sparks is going to walk into the back line and just continue to bully this tank line as he has been the entire time, but that's going to be a nice Earthshatter by Loco Jordo. Sparks is going to try and go and use a Meteor Strike on the Reinhardt, but cannot do so, but he does end up getting the pick, and so now they're going to fall back a little bit, and while there is a Monkey on point, he will be the only one there. And David City's just going to clean it up, and with a minute left now, Thayer Central has to do something here. Unfortunately, Thayer Central, once again, is not pushing together as a team, and they're allowing this Sparks pick on Doomfist to just get too much value. Instead of going somebody like a McCree to be able to contest it, they vote to go a Reaper now, which is not the 100% best contest against a Doomfist, but it can get the job done if he does get close. You just have to be very, very careful and use your cycles in a way that is going to benefit you, not the Doomfist. So let's see what Thayer Central can truly do here against this comp. The Reaper could go against this Unreal Slice Roadhog pick as well, but that's one person trying to contest two. So now the Lucio is going to stay on point here, and Egg is going to be back here by himself trying to contest on this. He does get a pick on the Monkey, which was a very nice pick, and now the Lucio is going to go down. And again, Thayer Central just not pushing together, not making an attempt to go to the point at all in sync. They're just kind of staggering in and allowing themselves to just get pick by pick by pick. So they never truly get any value out of the picks that they have. And honestly, the ults that they're using are used in good scenarios, but they never push in together on them, which is now allowing only the Lucio to be on point. And after that death, there will be an overtime. They will not be able to touch. And David City will take the first map of Hollywood in this contest. David City did a very good job of just using their advantages and capitalizing on the mistakes that were made by Thayer Central. They didn't really push together. They were just kind of sitting back and allowing one person to push and stagger it together. But ultimately, this is going to be played. The Egg ults here for the Mercy Bastion kill. Ended up getting a 2K there. A very nice play there. So yeah, now we'll be going into the second map when Thayer Central chooses what they would like for a assault map, which will be either Volskaya Industries, Hanamura, or Temple of Anubis. So we will be back shortly. Hanamura or Temple of Anubis. So we will be back shortly.
Traveling to Hanamura.
Alright, so now we are here on our first assault map of the night, where it's going to be Haramura with these beautiful, beautiful trees, the beautiful site of the temple here. And this is going to be a very interesting map because usually this isn't played in a lot of college or I don't know about high school, but competitive areas. And this is going to be a 2CP map, which is in the Overwatch community viewed as a terrible place to play because it is very, very hard to attack on some of these places because you have to do what you do on Hollywood for the first point for 2 points instead. And so working with the way that the respawns work and everything, it's just very, very hard to attack on these maps. So we will see what happens as we are looking into the eyes of an alien here eating some noodles. And we will see on defense Thayer Central once again, and David City will be on the attack. The one thing by David City on that attack was that they were just very, very aggressive and pushing into the front line of the tanks and just completely demolishing them. And again, Unreal Slice on that Roadhog pick was just completely disregarded and viewed as basically not even an obstacle at all, even though he was doing most of the damage and most of the problems. As on defense, we will see the Farah Mercy pick come out and more of a double shield comp by the tank line, whereas on attack you're going to see the Sigma Roadhog pulled out, which is a very strong comp when used correctly. So we'll see Sparks does come out on the Widow pick, which is very interesting, and he does get a pick on Super Ninja, which is kind of key, and he gets another pick on the Soldier. So both DPS down here, and while there is a res on the Farah, it looks like David City's just going to walk into this and basically completely just, again, work through the front line of Thayer Central and take first point with ease. Both of those picks by the Widow were very good by Sparks and perfect placement for the team of David City to get into the position that they needed to be in to be able to get the rest of the team finish the game out with the first point taken. So it looks like once again they're going to go with the bunker comp here for Thayer Central, which hasn't worked in the past, but we'll see if it works here for them. Unfortunately, though, it seems like they're set up on the low ground, where most of the time you will see them setting up on the high ground to the left, where they get a lot more value looking down on the enemy instead of looking up at them. So if they can take the high ground here with only 2 players up there, David City could be in a very, very good position to take this second point. And a big ult there by Egg, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Now they have to fire up at them, and Sparks getting a nice pick on the Ana there, and the hook there. Now they're going to drop down a point, which is exactly what they need to do, and they're going to spread out. So now this they spread out on multiple sides, so the Bastion has nowhere to go, and David City perfects the push on this second point. Arisa's going to put down her ult, but it's not going to be enough. It will be destroyed. The Ana's going to try and go ahead and push, and she will get on it, but it will not be enough as David City will take the point. David City did a very, very good job of executing the push that they needed there, pushing the high ground, realizing that the Bastion was set up on the low ground, and that's exactly what I was talking about before. When the Bastion is on the low ground like that, firing up into the enemy team is a lot harder than firing down on them with good position. So hopefully this doesn't return into an area where it's going to hurt Thayer Central. It's going to actually benefit them on this attack if they can get a good attack going here. So we will see what they can do. Seems like the name of the game so far is Tanks, because the tanks for David City have been doing what we've been talking about this entire weekend in the state tournament, is creating space for your DPS to make pushes that are important, especially in a Bastion comp. If you can, as a Roadhog, hook that Bastion out of the position that he is in, or as a Reinhardt, charge that Bastion and take care of him, then ultimately you're creating more space for your DPS to be able to push in, because now the entire team is focusing on you, and they're able to push up and get in better positions to go against comps like that. So now in about 5 seconds we're going to see what these comps will be as we stare into the eyes of a very glorious monkey on the wall. good old pixel art, very good artwork in this game. And so now here we go. They're going to go for the same kind of bunker comp, but more of a Winston Rhine bunker comp here, which is something we saw a little earlier, but unfortunately he is going to get picked by Unreal Slice once again, and these tanks just going without any contest. I mean, yes, you go the Reinhardt to block out the Bastion for this comp, but part of your job as a tank is to create that space, and when a Bastion is just sitting there like that, not doing really anything to the rest of the team, you can't exactly get any value, especially when they peek corners and are playing corners the way that they are right now. I mean, David City is doing a really good job of just playing around this corner and not allowing this Bastion to get any value out of it. However, the rest of Thayer Central will be starting to try and push point, and they're going to TP up and try to get, and this is the high ground that they should have taken on the defense here. This high ground is very, very valuable to them, but unfortunately, Super Ninja actually gets picked. He will get rezzed, but it won't do anything for the team as they're just going to continue to push back and wait for the rest of their team to come back. And Thayer Central is doing a lot better job here pushing together as a team. Unfortunately, it just seems that the pushes are not working because David City is taking really good positioning, really good flanks, and is doing a really good job of focusing targets that they need to focus in key scenarios. Once again, these tanks doing a lot of damage to those shields, trying to get some value off of this Bastion, so that way that he is not melting their back line, so they don't have heals in the long run. Sparks once again going on this Widow pick, which is something we could see in the long run here for this David City team, if it does get value. A very good hook there, and a very good kill by Unreal Slice. The res is out, but there's going to be another ult by Egg, and David City once again is just going to clean it up. So David City once again doing a very, very good job of just working together as a team and getting a lot of value again out of this tank line. I mean, like Unreal Slice has been creating a bunch of space. Loco Jordaro on this Sigma pick has been doing a very good job of focusing things like the Bastion, things like focusing on the tanks that are in the front line that are trying to defend the Bastion. And Sigma does do a lot of damage to this shield comp if he knows how to play against the shield comp. So we will see. The window does come out, and this is going to cause Super Ninja to have to get into a better position. He is going to take the teleporter here and go up onto the high ground, which again is something that they need, is this high ground. But the window is going to try and get some picks here. Unfortunately, cannot get really anything going, but the Bastion is going to pick off their support. So if Thayer Central can get a few more picks here, they could get some very good plays, but unfortunately, that's just not going to happen as David City, once again, the defense has been very, very efficient. Doing a very good job as a team, as an entire team, working together to get the picks in key scenarios. Even when one of their supports is down, they're able to get counter picks to be able to keep the point in their favor. So let's see what Thayer Central has in store for us for this next push with only 40 seconds left to go. Looks like Thayer Central is going to go for the same push once again, and the Monkey is the only one on point. He is going to ult here, but unfortunately just gets melted, and that's the problem with not pushing together as a team, what I was talking about. The other tank is just sitting up there, and Thayer Central is just basically the only person that is there, and a big three-man by Egg there. While I'm talking about Thayer Central, really, what they need to do is they need to focus on being able to push together as a team like this David City team is doing. They aren't spreading out, they aren't splitting up, they're staying together and working to their advantage in numbers, which is exactly what Overwatch is a big numbers game. And after that, over time, David City will win the match and be going to the championship game later on. So the biggest thing there for David City was a very good job of the picks that they did have and using them in valuable ways. The Widow was taking very good spots to sit to be able to get the advantage on certain areas, and another big Junkrat Tire here. And the Roadhog and the Sigma comp was working very well together for them to be able to get some value out of their tank line and be able to stop that Bastion comp from getting any value as well. So we'll see what they can do later and how they go on the first and second place match, but the next match that we will be having here soon is Amherst versus Winnebago. So we will see how this match will go and who will be playing David City for the first second place round. This match will